Welcome back, fishing friends, to another adventure. All right, Pinhook Fishing Club members, I made it up here to Iowa, 2024, my first adventure. So I'm gonna be fishing this spillway here. The water is way up. Gonna be pitching all kinds of stuff, square bills, all kinds of hair jigs, just a bunch of stuff, maybe even a tube. So we're gonna see what we can catch. Maybe some spoons, swim baits. Hey, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate all the support. You guys are awesome for hanging out with me and watching these. So you guys know I love to bank fish, and this is where it all started for me up in Iowa. The farm's not far from here at the little creek I fished at, but I just love bank fishing, you know. It's my deal, it's my jam. So we're gonna see what we can catch. You know, we'll be throwing some stuff. I've got a little hand-tied marabou jig here. It's not one of mine, but it's a good color for this kind of chocolatey water. It rained a bunch about 2 hours ago, so the water is a little bit on the iffy side in terms of clarity. So I've just been pitching this, kind of cranking it in, and I see I have a wind knot I got to take care of. All right. Anyway, so that's what we're gonna do today. Hey, stick around and see if we catch something. All right, guys, right in here close. Check it out, a nice smallmouth on a bucktail jig. There we go. All right, guys, there he is. Not very big, but he's a good one. This is what I was throwing, a little Bomac red. I said bucktail, but it's a marabou jig. Got a little piece of Biospawn Exo stick on there for a little extra weight. So I'm throwing this on the 5 foot, the 6'8" ugly stick. So I'm throwing this on the 6'8" Mojo from St. Croix. There's a little bit of black in here, a little bit of flash. So it's just been pitching it around. Nice little smallie. Let's keep it going. Check this out, guys. I found this. Just the tip of it was sticking out of the sand here. Boy, that's a heavy rig right there. Steel leader for pike. Nice little find. So I've got the handy dandy Bushcraft camp mat. It's got the scale on it. The handy dandy net. And of course all my crap. Then I'm gonna throw this little Bagley flat side right here. It's a little balsa. There's tons of little chubs and sunfish bouncing around. So we're gonna see if we can get one. Oh yeah, I can feel it digging down in there. Oh yeah, check that out. In this kind of murky water, this looks good. A whole bunch of little bait fish just got spooked right there. Man, I could probably just work this shallow right here with all those fish in here. See that other one that I caught? It was in shallow here where he hit. It wasn't very far at all. I mean, it was just like right in here. What you guys haven't seen is I've lost a couple of lures on some snags. So I've had to retie a few times. It's good to be back though here. My favorite place to fish. One of my favorite places to fish. There's a nice splash right in there. Bait fish getting cornered in there and jumping. So I fired in there to see if anything was home. I felt like I hit right there. Seeing this little slack water here. Oh, I skipped her. No. Nothing. Hey, if you go to Northland Tackle and click on Bagley, there's a whole bunch of them now that are for sale for like $4.99, super cheap. I'm not sponsored by anybody or them, but I'd go check them out. Bombers, Bagleys, Smithwick, 6 Cents. Those are my favorite brands right there. I lost a rock crawler in here. My little silver one. You see this thing? It casts a mile. Uh-oh, please tell me that's not a snag. It is a snag. Come on. All right, guys. I'm gonna send this plug knocker down. See if I can free up that crankbait. It slides right down the line. Did you hear that? Clunk. There it goes. There it goes. There it goes. There it goes. I can feel it. Did you see that pipe jump? Come on, plug knocker. Dang, guys, the plug knocker didn't work. I had to snap it. All right, let's get re-rigged. All right, guys, I rigged up to a bomber, square A bomber. These mosquitoes are starting to get crazy. And I even have spray on. So I can feel that bomber hitting down there. I just need something to crush it. Such a cool place here to fish. Yep, that looks good in the water. See that big carp trying to jump that over there? They're in here, guys. There's big pikes, smallmouth, largemouth, occasional walleye. They're in here. Ooh, one just jumped right in front of me. I think that was a chub. The creek chubs and the shiners are spawn central now. There was another one that jumped right there. It's almost like trout coming up and they hit the surface. It's sitting on the top. I'm going to let it drift way down, and then I'll bring it back through there. Uh-oh. I can't see it now. Oh my gosh, guys. I can't see where it went. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it drifted down there pretty good. There's a decent current. Whew. Come on. Snag, come on. When that happens, that usually means that it went right under a tree branch. I got it back, guys. I did the bow and arrow, the twing, and it came free. Threw a MEPS for quite a while, and all my good colors, nothing. I threw some swim baits, tested a whole bunch of stuff I didn't get on camera. Just a stingy day. Just cracking a tube through there now, guys. Little 4-inch black tube. Working the spots, fan casting around. It's the bait that I've caught the most fish here with, that and a MEPS over the years. Just a good old-fashioned tube. I run it through the shallows here too, because I've been seeing some crawfish. There's one right there. He just got spooked. There's another one. So just kind of pitching this around. Saw that snapper come up again. He lifts his head right over here. I tried to pitch over him and hook him, but I couldn't get him. Uh-oh. Well, that felt like a snag. Like a big tree branch got washed down in there. Skeeters. Oh yeah, check that out. That does look like a crawfish slinking around down there. Ooh, guys, if you don't know anything about tubes, man, they'll work for just about anything. I've caught pike on them, walleye, smallmouth and largemouth. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up for today. Not bad for my first outing. I just got into town, had to unpack everything and get acclimated. One fish, I'll take that for sure. I may come back out a little later after dinner to a different little spot. Throw some stuff around. But I had a lot of fun out here this afternoon. If you go back and see some of my other videos, usually I'm standing right out in here. Uh-oh. I thought I had a hit, then I thought I had a snag. Man, this is just such a cool place to come in and fish. All right, guys, so I'm at spot number 2, just working a frog through some cover. I'm using this little lake fork system. It has that little hook on the back to help with some catches. The water's even way up in the pond here. Sorry guys, I gotta scratch my back. You can see all this goose crap all on here. The dock part of it's underwater. So usually when I cast it there, I let it sit there for a minute. That way they can come up and look at it. Then I'll start walking it. Yep, so I made it up here to Iowa, and man, it's nice and cool, it's peaceful. It's just such a cool place to be for summer. What is this? More of this goose crap. Man, that breeze feels good. Did you see that? And I got a big bullfrog behind me. I think they're trying to get dragonflies is what it is. All right, guys, I think I've got one caught up in this huge wad of stuff. There is one. All right, let's get over here where we can work with him. I got him on the Bacon's tackle. Look at this, I'm having to wade through. He was just laying up under the bushes there. Hey, he's not very big, but he looks pretty cool. Oh my gosh, look at all this cabbage. All right, easy, easy. All right, there we go. He's not very big, but he's a nice little bass. Look at this, perfect place to let him go. And he zips away. All right, let me show you what I was using. So there used to be the vintage flip tail worm company. And when I was over at Bacon's Tackle, the world famous Bacon's Tackle in Shreveport, they had a whole bunch of these hand-poured worms that they do. Check out the unique appendages on there. And so that's what I was throwing. Skipped it up under the trees there, up under the muck there, and man, he got caught, all kinds of caught up. What am I caught up now? Come on. So it just pitched up under there. I'll show you guys. See, I get all this cottonwood stuff on here. So I was just pitching it up under there, and sure enough, he was laying under there, and kapow! So this is on the Mach 2, Lew's Mach 2, and this is 20-pound braid to 20-pound fluoro leader, mainly because of the pike, the toothy pike. So I pitched the frog all through these different spots and nothing. So now I switched over to this guy. Oops. And we'll see if we can get something else. Yeah, you can kind of see the fuzz. Yep. That's the cottonwoods. Anyway, so I just kind of work it through, bump it along. It's my little punching rig. I don't even know what I don't even have a big ounce, 1 ounce or a ½ ounce. I think this is just like a quarter. I've got more where I can switch to, but so I got a bead on there, and I've got a little bobber stopper to help out, but I'm just kind of firing along and hopefully get some. There's been all kinds of stuff bombing and diving out there, and I'm just dropping it in the holes. I did try to fish from that bank over there, and not much was going on. Trying to get my Iowa fishing sea legs going. So this is just day number 1. Spot number 2. can see all the bait fish in and around down there. I don't know what that stuff is. Eel grass. Something that I'm not familiar with. Coming from Texas, really. There we go. Ooh, I felt a little thump right there. Thump, 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 thump. Thump, thump. And that breeze feels good. Rats. It's these bluegill or these warmouths that come up and they just thump, 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 thump. See, I can feel a little thunk, 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 thunk. Such a peaceful place. Okay, so I've been working, yeah, look at all that cabbage. So I've been working all the banks behind me where I caught the first one. So I'm gonna let that settle down for a little bit. So then I've been working in here. Had one big flash come up, but it was a big bluegill. I can't quite get it back into there. I just kind of skip it in there. Trying to get this cottonwood junk off. There we go. Thunk, 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 thunk. Dang it. It's just the bluegill. The other thing with this bait, guys, is I've got a rattle in there. Just in the plastic. It makes a little, just a tick, 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 tick. Yeah, I can't believe nothing on the frog. I did that for about an hour and a half, just all through here, all across. I threw the crazy shad, but it was picking up too much of that eel grass crap. Man, that looks good in the water. Here, I'll show you where it's starting to come out now, but right here is where that rattle is. Let me see if you can hear it when I shake it. Just a real faint click, 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 click. All right, I gave this area a little bit of rest. Now let's see if we can get one. Ooh, look at that, right by the log. slack line. There's branches that come out, and I dropped it right next to one of the branches coming out. Then I'll kind of let it sit there for a little bit. So this is just a little farm pond in a little public area, and I mean way up in the middle of nowhere in Iowa. There's a whole bunch of these little places around. I gotta go check one more before it's all said and done. Ooh, look at that, right in there. Perfect. In between the brush and that branch hanging down. I got him, guys. I got him, and he's a good one. My drag was all jacked up, it was all zzz. Let's take it easy. Take it easy. Yeah, he's a nice fish. Oh, he's got all kinds of cabbage on him. Yeah, he's a good fish. Bank flip into the pond. But that's 2 on bacons. Look at all that cabbage. Man, I had a great cast in that little corner, and sure enough, pow. Come on, dang it. Yeah, he's a good fish. Right where he was supposed to be. Right up under that brush. That's a good bass for this area right here. It's a nice bass for this area. He's about a pound, just over a pound. All right, buddy, there you go. Zing, shoots off. Man, that was a nice catch on that bacons again, that little creature bait. Everyone calls them lizards, but really it's a salamander. From salamander, they get those water dog stage where they're living on the bottom, crawling around, big eyes and stuff. Man, that was good stuff. See, back in there, I'd thrown the frog, and she would just let it sit and then twitch it and then walk it. Nothing. So you fire one of these in there down low. Maybe there's on beds in here, because I have seen them still on beds early June here before. Look at all this fuzz. Anyway, so I just started working this, left it alone for a little while, and you saw the cast. We're not done yet. Look at that, skipped. A little short, but we're gonna go with it. The key is I let it sit there for a little while. And the bluegill come down and peck at it, and that might help, because then the bass are like, hey, what's going on down there? See, I can see beds down there. They may be bluegill beds, because they sure aren't bass beds. There we go. Skipped it right up under there. The other thing I do is I just kind of feel, I feel the line like I did right there. Lost it, guys. I lost it. Somebody's line running through there is what I was snagged on. I can kind of see a bobber over there, green kind of float looking thing. So I skipped it right over it, and then I felt a thunk thunk, and so typical bluegill thing. But then I thought, man, a bass has got it, and then whack, gave it a yank and right into that fishing line. So I tried to pull it free and I couldn't, so I just snapped it. All right, re-rig. All right, guys. So I don't have the gear. It's back at the lake cabin to set up the punching rig, but I do have this one good to go. It's a Smalley beaver. Now, actually, this is a sweet beaver from Reaction Innovations. And I don't mind if there's a little bit of bow or a kink in there. That's fine with me, because it helps. Man, look at that thing. Because it helps the trajectory of it. All right, let's get back in there. There we go. Right through the branch into the water. Not quite where I wanted it, but close enough. I'm right along the base of that lay down over there. I can feel the limbs. Nice and cool. It's like in the mid-70s. There we go, perfect. So I'm just gonna let it sit there for a little bit, and then I do this, where I tighten the line up and I do this stitching, where I just twitch it like this. It just shakes it a little. I love those Reaction Innovations Smalley beavers and sweet beavers. They have a whole bunch of them. They make great trailers and they're just excellent. The other one I like is the Flippin' Delight by Beast Coast. And so this one's got a little bit of that red glitter in there. that looks good. All right, still working this area. I'm gonna go right back into the cabbage in there. Oops, a little too far. There we go. Alright, so I think I got this side all worked up pretty good. I can't really get to this side over here. Just too much. That limb, if that limb was gone, man, I could hit those spots back in there. This is where I saw that flash earlier. Look at all this goose poop from the Canada geese. That's where I saw a white flash down there. I think it was just a big bluegill. Man, that looks good. There we go, right on that tree branch. Ooh. Thump, 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 thump. Feel it going through the limbs. Dang, nothing's there. I can feel it bump, 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 bump. So there's those big warmouths and then bluegill, and both of them are curious. I'll come up and pop something. On the yum worm, guys, right off that branch. Man, he's trying to get into every bit of cover. Oh, he's a good fish. Bank flip. Let's get him to the staging area. Mainly because that dock is kind of sketchy. There we go. Let me get this here. It's just all this sketchiness with how this is set up. All right, guys, there we go. It's a nice looking bass right there. That's pretty good for here. This one's definitely, I mean, this one almost feels like a 2-pounder. There we go. There he goes. Check that out. All right, nice. All right, guys, we got some weather moving in. You can kind of see. So I'm gonna pack it in. Thanks for hanging out with me today. That bass, that last one, gave himself away. I could see the ripples off the end of that structure, that lay down. So I bombed the worm over there. And I just kind of, I did that stitching where you just and then I could feel it, I didn't feel any thumbs. He just sucked it up. So let's do a quick recap. First spot where the dam is, a nice little smallmouth, not very big. Had a lot of fun fishing there. Surprised I didn't catch a pike. So using all my Lew's reels, Bass X, Mojo, Mach 2 rods. And then here, I just was working the banks in there and, you know, throwing the Bacon's tackle. Fliptail Worm Company is what that place was called. They made a ton of worms, but I think they made some lizards. I call them salamanders because when they're down in the water, in their larva stage, they're like a water dog. And man, they're just a protein snack for bass. But anyway, when I was in Bacon's over Christmas, you can just grab the ones you want, the colors you want. So I grabbed, I think it was like 10 of them. So, you know, that's good. Sadly, you know, I lost them over here in the snack on that fishing line, but I got some other ones. And so I just kept working the banks in there. And it was a lot of fun. So, good stuff. All right. Yeah, you can see the big thunderhead. I think I'm gonna go to Subway and get a diet root beer. One of the few places you can get a diet root beer up here at a restaurant. And then we'll regroup and see what the plan is for later. But for day one, 2 locations, man, this is just so nice. So anyway, nothing on the crazy shad topwater, nothing on the frog. I had the frog in all those spots. Same thing, twitching it, and then I'd walk it some, nothing. So they were definitely hunkered down in there, ready to munch on stuff that was down towards the bottom. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me, and until next time, I will see you then. Bye-bye. Now get out there and get your lures wet.